Hello to everybody, this is Aunt Diane. What you see is a very heartbroken couple holding their son's picture. Goi Zen Feng, he died in Thailand near the Myanmar border after falling victim to Chinese gangs that prey on vulnerable young people. It all started when he met a girlfriend online and they video called to each other. His parents were concerned and they wanted to see her, and every time they went to look at the phone, she would disappear. He actually left to go to visit her, to fly to Bangkok, and he said he left in middle of January and said he'll be back by February 5th, the day before his mom's birthday. And when he did not show up, they knew something was wrong. In my last video, I had discussed the dangers of going somewhere and expecting to get a certain job and ending up with a different job. It's a form of human trafficking where they lure you in. It's been done for years in a lot of Middle Eastern countries, especially Dubai, where they would, get women and men from countries that are very, very poor. And they see the promise of, big money and everything. This is just a different form of that same scam. The victim, named Zen Feng, had a job scamming people, and they made him work for really long, long hours. And the scam center actually, they traded the people back and forth, and if they couldn't pay a certain amount of money, they were called debt slaves. I mean, it was horrible. And there were even cases of them taking some of the victims of the human trafficking, taking their organs out of them for transplant, torturing them, you name it. By April 11th, someone had dropped him off at a hospital with a fake passport, and he couldn't speak. But then his family was really worried. They did get a phone call from him asking for $80,000, but not in American money. In American money, it turned out to be like $17,000 for medical treatment. The parents knew by the sound of his voice that he was being threatened. It didn't even sound like him. They never heard him again after that. Zen Feng died in May of that year, but his parents did not know until the end of August because his body lay unclaimed, which is a horrible thing. Actually, his body was then transported to a Buddhist temple, and eventually it was cremated, and they were able to go there. But they found a lot of things were going on, and it was really horrible. They were doing this to a lot of people, thousands of young, vulnerable people. However, he was the first one on record to have died from those conditions as a result of being trafficked. But I'm sure there are more, and there will be more coming up. His death certificate actually read Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's an immune disorder. But the Malaysian officials who were working on the case and others close to the case think he was beaten because there were so many signs of abuse, including internal bleeding. The people who were keeping him prisoner saw that he was getting weak and can barely do anything. They didn't care. They just wanted him to keep working. This is going on all over Asia, unfortunately. And a lot of people are tricked into coming over there, for a great job or whatever. It's run by Chinese gangs, mostly. There was a Buddhist cremation ceremony in Thailand. His parents were obviously inconsolable. And unfortunately, how this young victim, you know, met his end exactly will never be known. These scam centers are all over Asia, and we all have to be aware they can come to other countries, including Western countries. They do exist in some forms, even in America, I'm ashamed to say. Usually, migrant farmers, when people hire them, they say, oh, no, no, you still owe money. And they don't pay these poor guys. I mean, it's horrible. I wish they could crack down on who is doing it. But, this other scamming business might end up going around the whole world. So we all need to be aware. Many politicians from the countries that they recruit the men and women from, the young people from, are very concerned, and the parents of these kids are obviously concerned, and they're trying to see what they can do about it. There have been very few arrests, but this has been going on for a couple of years, and it could have been going on longer and only came into the public conscience recently, but it's getting worse. Young people are being told, please do not fall for any promises online, of a great job. Please do not. Hopefully they will listen.